Well, good morning and welcome to this week's virtual Sunday school lesson. I'm glad to be back with you. We've had some great lessons from Dan and from Katie Renard and from Joe Allen these past few months. And you may be wondering, is Clark like sitting outside? Well, yes, it's I'm recording this on an unusually warm day in early November. So um, I wanted to, over these next few weeks, embark on a series of Sunday school lessons that are related to this Advent sermon series that we've started today, The Wonder of Christmas. And so over the next 4 weeks, I'm going to endeavor to share with you a little more from our Advent series. And so I'll be adapting material from the book, The Wonder of Christmas by Ed Robb and Rob Renfro, and doing it into kind of a short devotional Sunday school lesson. So I hope this time will lead to further reflection on the wonder of Christmas during this Advent season. So I want to start by asking the question, do you know someone who seems to notice things in others that others don't, who pays attention to subtle details and finds beauty and meaning in the unexpected? Maybe it's you. I immediately think of my daughter Sophia. She picks up on some of the most minute things or subtle details, and she remembers them. You can't get anything past her on that. She's got the memory of an elephant. But she pays attention and sees subtle details and finds beauty in the unexpected. Rob Renfro writes, as we explored the wonder of Christmas together in the coming weeks, you are invited to see the world and what God has done through the gift of wonder. To believe there is more to this world than the eye beholds, to look for the beauty in what God has done, and to allow yourself to be amazed by a story you have maybe heard 100 times, to come to this season with a spirit of curiosity, trusting that if you will slow down and open your heart, creation's artists will astonish you with gifts that are waiting for you. You know, each of us enters the Christmas season with expectations about what this year's celebration will be like. And perhaps this Christmas season, more than most, as we continue to find ourselves in the midst of a global pandemic. So we're having to adjust our expectations, aren't we? So with that in mind, I'd like for you to consider the following question. How do past Christmases shape or influence how you feel about Christmas this year? And with that in mind, ask yourself, what does wonder mean to you? Who or what causes you to wonder, to be amazed, curious, or inspired? What was it that captivated the Magi's wonder and imagination to drive them to leave their homes to travel hundreds, perhaps thousands of miles to follow a star? I want to read to you from a passage in Matthew chapter 2. And it says, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem, in Judea during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him. They went on their way, and the star that they had seen when it had rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. And when they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, that they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and they worshiped him. And they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. You know, the story of the wise men is familiar to anyone who's ever heard the biblical Christmas story. The Magi had successful lives in terms of what the world values, and they didn't need more money or accolades. So why did they put aside everything to go and follow a star? What compelled them to travel hundreds of miles through barren terrain and unknown dangers to find a promised king? What did they hope to gain? What did they long to find? You know, at one time or another, all of us sense that we are made for more. We ask questions and we go on journeys to find answers. Often we feel that something is missing, that we need something more in order for our lives to be right. But not all of us recognize what this need for more truly is. In fact, many people who yearn for more end up focusing on simply getting more of the same: more wealth, more success, more recognition, more possessions, more pleasure, more of everything that has already left them unsatisfied and unfulfilled. What do you think the Magi were looking for when they set out to find Jesus? And in what ways do people in our society tend to spend time and resources searching for more? Let me suggest that what drove the Magi in search of a star, and perhaps drives many of us, was a sense of deep longing. You know, the Bible has much to say on the matter of deep longing. For example, in Psalm 42, 7 through 8, we read, "Deep calls to deep in the roar of your waterfalls. All your waves and breakers have swept over me. By day, the Lord directs his love. At night, his song is with me, a prayer to the God of my life." In Ecclesiastes 3:11, we read, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end." In Isaiah 43:1, "I have called you by my name. I've called you by name. You are mine." And then Isaiah 55:2, "Why spend money on what is not bread, and your labor on what does not satisfy? Listen, listen to me and eat what is good, and you will delight in the richest of fare." Now, as we close out this short lesson on the wonder of a star, allow me to leave you with this thought. The longing within us is a yearning for something more than this world can provide. We long for a Savior. And as St. Augustine wrote, "Thou hast made for us thyself, and restless is our heart until it comes to rest in thee." Ask yourself, how have you found this to be true in your life? Until next time, continue to approach this season and Christmas in wonder.